Do you want a Thopter commander that gets bigger as the game goes on? Then Liberator Urza's Battlethopter might be the commander for you. But first, hit that subscribe button if you haven't to keep up to date on all the newest deck techs. Liberator reads, Liberator Urza's Battlethopter. 3 mana legendary artifact creature Thopter 1/2 with flash and flying. You may cast colorless spells and artifact spells as though they had flash. Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast that spell is greater than Liberator Urza's Battlethopter's power, put a +1/+1 counter on Liberator. There's few things cooler than flashing in a bunch of threats before your turn starts, so nothing will have summoning sickness. First things first is this is Urza's Battlethopter, so let's suit up Liberator for the battle with some equipment. Blackblade Reforged is 2 mana legendary artifact equipment. Equip creature gets +1/+1 for each land you control. Equip legendary creature 3, equip 7. This is great because even if Liberator gets destroyed, we still have a way to get them back to being a threat that scales with the game. Commander's Plate is a 1 mana artifact equipment. Equip creature gets +3/+3 and has protection from each color that's not in your commander's identity color. Equip Commander 3, equip 5. This card is amazing in this deck because our commander has no colors. That means this protects it from all colors. So that's unblockable and non-targetable. Good luck getting rid of that. Hammer of Nizan is a 4 mana legendary artifact equipment. Whenever Hammer of Nizan or another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach that equipment to target creature you control. Equip creature gets +2/+0 and has indestructible equip cost 4. We are in a decent sized equipment package for this deck, so being able to auto-equip our commander is really sweet. The indestructible is just gravy. Nettlecyst is a 3 mana artifact equipment with Living Weapon. When this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 black Phyrexian Germ creature token, then attach this to it. Equip creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and/or enchantment you control. Equip cost 2. Again, another card that scales really well with the game since we're running so many artifacts. Meanwhile, we can get Liberator back to being a threat in no time if they kick the bucket. Haha, get it? Artifacts? Bucket? No, never mind. Swiftfoot Boots is a 2 mana artifact equipment. Equip creature has Hexproof and Haste. Equip cost 1. Hexproof and Haste is similar to Commander's Plate, but our creature can still be blocked, so keep that in mind. Sword of Fire and Ice is a 3 mana artifact equipment. Equip creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from red and blue. Whenever equip creature deals combat damage to a player, Sword of Fire and Ice deals 2 damage to any target and you draw a card. Equip cost 2. This is really a stand-in for your favorite sword of this and that. I like this because removal for small creatures and card draw aren't exactly easy to get in these lack of colors. But if you think a different sword works better for you, I say go for it. Speaking of other swords, Sword of Truth and Justice is a 3 mana artifact equipment. Equip creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from white and from blue. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control, then proliferate. Choose any number of permanents and/or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. Equip cost 2. 2 +1/+1 counters whenever we attack is pretty sweet, and can get our out of hand fast. It can also pump up the few planeswalkers we run in this deck. Sword of the Animist is a 2 mana legendary artifact equipment. Equip creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. Equip cost 2. Land Ram and Colorless is pretty cool, since the lands don't get destroyed by Vandal Blast. It also combos with the Blackblade Reforged, so that's cool. Whispercell Cloak is a 3 mana artifact equipment. Equip creature can't be blocked and has Shroud. Equip cost 2. Can't be blocked and has Shroud. This is nearly the same thing as Commander's Plate in this deck, except you can't target your own creature, which is bad. When equipping several equipment at once, make sure this one is always the last one on there. Hero's Heirloom is a 2 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+1. As long as equipped creature is legendary, it has Trample and Haste. Equip cost 2. A newer addition to the deck, giving Trample and Haste to our commander. This all but guarantees we're getting some damage through. Bloodforged Battle Axe is a 1 mana artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+0. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of Bloodforged Battle Axe. Equip cost 2. This card is super cool, and a great use of extra mana in the late game. Suit up a Battlethopter with 7 axes and let her rip. Brass Squire is a 3 mana artifact creature mirror. Tap. Attach target equipment you control to target creature you control. 1/3. While Brass Squire isn't an equipment itself, it clearly synergizes with all the equipment we're planning on running in the deck. Etch Champion is a 3 mana artifact creature soldier with Metalcraft. Etch Champion has protection from all colors as long as you control 3 or more artifacts 2/2. This is our backup plan if our commander's too expensive, since it can get protection on its own. Silent Arbiter is a 4 mana artifact creature construct. No more than 1 creature can attack each combat, no more than 1 creature can block each combat. 1/5. 1 attacker and 1 blocker sounds a lot like it's going to pan out in our favor. Really good inclusion. Next, we have cards that we want to flash in on our opponent's turns. Because they are colorless, expect most of them to be wildly overcosted. All is Dust is a 7 mana tribal sorcery Eldrazi. Each player sacrifices all colored permanents they control. Starting off strong with a pseudo board wipe, the best part is it gets around indestructible since it forces players to sacrifice. Duplicant is a 6-mana artifact creature shapeshifter with imprint. Whenever Duplicant enters the battlefield, exile target non-token creature. As long as a card exiled with Duplicant is a creature card, Duplicant has the power and toughness and creature types of the last creature card exiled with Duplicant. It's still a shapeshifter. Note that it says target non-token creature instead of target non-token creature you control. This means that we can target anybody's stuff. Instant speed removal is sweet, especially sweet if we get rid of something big and beefy to have our own big beefy boy. Endbringer is 5 and a colorless for a creature Eldrazi. Untap Endbringer during each other player's untap step. Tap, Endbringer deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Pay 1 colorless and tap, target creature can attack or block this turn. Pay 2 colorless and tap, draw a card. 5/5. This is mostly here because most people won't let this thing survive a rotation of turns, so it's better to flash it in the end step before your turn. The abilities may not seem backbreaking, but they can be deceptively strong. Meteor Golem is a 7-mana artifact creature golem. When Meteor Golem enters the battlefield, destroy target non-land permanent an opponent controls. 3/3. Destroy anything that isn't a land. Great way to get rid of enchantments, which is something this deck struggles with. Platinum Angel is a 7-mana artifact creature angel with flying. You can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. 4/4. Instant speed, you can't lose the game is cool. Imagine someone swings out at you for the win, only for you to say no. I thought this was a colorless deck, not blue. Sandstone Oracle is a 7-mana artifact creature Sphinx, flying. When Sandstone Oracle enters the battlefield, choose an opponent. If that player has more cards in hand than you, draw cards equal to the difference. Gross. This card is gross. Flash it in, target the blue player, and refill your hand for more fun times. Wandering Archaic is a 5-mana creature avatar. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 2. If they don't, you may copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. 4/4. This, in response to somebody's casting an instant or sorcery, won't do anything, so you have to get it out beforehand. Try to mind read your opponents for when they're going to cast something powerful. Thought-Knot Seer is 3 and a colorless for creature type Eldrazi. When Thought-Knot Seer enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it and exile that card. When Thought-Knot Seer leaves the battlefield, target opponent draws a card. Instant speed hand interaction. And they never get the card back from exile. This card is mean, but also great if somebody's going to combo off next turn. Wurmcoil Engine is a 6-mana artifact creature worm with Death Touch and Lifelink. When Wurmcoil Engine dies, create a 3/3 colorless worm artifact creature token with Death Touch and a 3/3 colorless worm artifact creature token with Lifelink. 6/6. Instant speed blocker that gains life and takes down anything it blocks, short of indestructible creatures. Really good. Speaking of indestructible creatures, Darksteel Forge is a 9-mana artifact. Artifacts you control have indestructible. This, in response to a board wipe, is what I want to do more than anything right now, and I need to make this happen at least once in my lifetime. Nevinyrral's Disc is a 4-mana artifact. Nevinyrral's Disc enters the battlefield tapped. Pay 1, tap, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. The downside of entering tapped is somewhat negated at instant speed since we untap with it on our turn. Very desperate last chance card though, especially since it takes out all of our artifacts. Spine of Ishsaw is a 7-mana artifact. When Spine of Ishsaw enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent. When Spine of Ishsaw is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return Spine of Ishsaw to its owner's hand. Say goodbye to your friend's proxied Gaia's Cradle, because this doesn't say non-land permanent. Real good, although they can tap it in response to get mana, so keep that in mind. And that's it. That's the deck. Did I miss anything? If so, let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, why not give it a like? Or if you really like the video, you can always subscribe to my Patreon, or even just my channel here. Either way, I hope you have a wonderful day.